Our fourth table is the movie star table, which links movies and stars together. So I will select the Create ribbon, select Design, Table Design, and put in our first field, which is the MPC field that identifies the movies. In this table, I'll be using a lookup wizard for this field, and as always, I will be pulling data from a table. In this case, the movies table. So I'll select that option in the wizard. I will then put the MPC code in to my selected fields because that's the primary key. I will also be putting in the title, which will help the user select a movie, the year released, and the release number so that the user can select a specific movie. And then I'll move to the next step. I'm going to sort this one based on title first, and then I think just to make it easier for the user, I'll select year released and finally release number and move to the next step. As always, I'll hide the key column. I'm going to widen the title field a little bit just so that we can see more of the title in the lookup list, and move to the next step. And once again, I've already identified the field name, so I will click Finish without selecting Allow Multiple Values. And once again, since I'm creating a new table and relating it to other tables, I have to save the table before creating the relationship, so I'll say yes. And this one is called tblMovieStar. So I'll type that in and click OK. And I'll get the standard warning saying that I have not defined a primary key yet. That's okay, we'll define it in just a second. So I'll say no for this message. Now I've got the link to the movies table, so I need to link to the stars table. And I will be using the star ID to make that linkage. Typed in that field name, and this too is going to be a lookup field. So I'll use lookup wizard, select from a table, and I'm going to be selecting from the stars table in this case, and I'm going to put the star ID, then I'm going to put the star's last name, and then first name, and then I'll move to the next field, or the next step. I'm going to sort by last name and then by first name and move to the next step. And once again, I'll widen these fields out just a little bit so that the data will work, and I'll keep the key column hidden. And so I'll move to the next step. And I'm going to store the results in star ID, and I'm not going to allow multiple values. So I'll click Finish. And once again, we have to save the table since we've modified the structure. And now I can actually define the primary key. Remember, this table has a composite primary key, which means a primary key made up of two or more fields. This table happens to link movies and stars together, so what we have to do is select the ID for the movie, the MPC field, as well as the ID for stars, the star ID field. And let me do that again and tell you what I did. I clicked on MPC and held the mouse button down, the left mouse button, and I dragged down to select the star ID. So now I've got both fields selected. I can click the primary key button, and because I have primary key symbols for both fields, that tells me I have a composite primary key. And so I'm done with this table. I'll close it, and once again Access is going to ask me if I want to save things. Since I made some changes I want to keep, I'm going to say yes.